Just make sure. Okay, we're good. We are good. And we are going to crown the ice. already messed it up. The iciest, coldest black metal album of all time. Let's go to our first matchup on this bracket, which is Under a Funeral Moon from Darkthrone and Frost from Enslaved. So I'm going to throw the poll to y'all. I know there's only a few of you out there right now, but we'll get this thing going. So, oh shoot, how do I do this? Oh, here we go. I got it, I swear. So I'll just do Darkthrone or Enslaved. And again, remember, we are not saying which is better, which is colder, which is icier, okay? So I'm throwing the poll out now. It should be in the chat. And y'all let me know. Are we going Under a Funeral Moon, which Fenris specifically calls their kind of main black metal album, the one that he considers to be the most black metal in the commentary. He describes in the commentary the icy cold production, or the classic album also from Enslaved, which is something I listened to a lot while I was playing Skyrim too. So tough call, I would say, from me. Why can I not see the results are like bounced out of my screen now? That's no good. Oh, wow, this is okay. Okay, this is surprising for me. Me personally, I'll say I would go for Enslaved, but this will be interesting because I really thought I knew how this was going to go, and I am dead wrong. It seems the poll is leaning towards Darkthrone. Shocking. Our first upset already on the very first go here. So let me double check, make sure that poll. Yeah, I think it's done, y'all. It's 73% for Darkthrone, 27% for Enslaved. So I'm going to go ahead and end the poll and go ahead and crown the Under a Funeral Moon the first winner here. So let's move on to the next one, though. We've got Vindier with 1184. Lots of fun dancing of the dead and just perfect landscape here. And then we also have Toke with Nattefrost, which this is a hard choice for me too. I adore both of these albums, and I think that they are both equally like grandiose and frosty and just conjure images of just vast mountain landscapes. So let me throw up a new poll here. So again, which is colder, not which is better. Which is colder, which is icier? Is it Vindier or is it Toke? Some of you may not be as familiar with these groups. If you're not, I highly recommend them. Also, by the way, there goes the... Oh, wait. Let me put the poll up. By the way, thank you to everyone who suggested albums for this. This bracket was actually really much bigger. It was like double size before, but I figured ultimately, when it comes down to it, it's going to be the big albums anyways. So I cut out a lot, and I just kept it simple down to kind of the main ones here. So it's looking like Vindier kind of taking the lead right now, 70-30. Get your votes in. Again, it's in the chat. You can find it there. Which is colder, 1184 or Nattefrost? Got 75-25. Got 12 votes. There's 17 people in here right now, so get your votes in if you haven't already. Or if you're abstaining because you haven't heard one or both of them, that's fine too. But I think we've got another winner here by a pretty good size. So again, 75% said we're going with Vindier. So go ahead and put them up on the board. Next up, boy, these album covers look kind of similar too, don't they? So we have Dark Medieval Times, and we have the debut from Blut aus Nord, which is relatively different from what Blut aus Nord would become, although they kind of continued in this vein as they went along. But yeah, let me throw the poll up again. So who are we going to crown? Who is colder, icier? Is it going to be Dark Medieval Times, which I'm probably going to misspell, or is it Blut aus Nord, whose album title I'm not even going to necessarily try here. I just realized I didn't say it's Satyricon too, by the way. So I'll just go ahead and put Satyricon in the poll instead of the album name, just to keep things simple here. Satyricon. That way I'll make sure I spell it right. Poll is up. So what's it going to be? Looking at the chat here as we're talking to... I'm seeing some naysayers too to some of the past votes, and I'm with you. Like, I would definitely pick some of these. Somebody said Mayhem is trash. We'll get to Mayhem. What are we at with the poll here? It's swinging towards Satyricon. Not too surprising. Satyricon's the bigger band here. I wouldn't be surprised if a bunch of people have not heard, especially this album, because I'm much more into their more kind of like industrial experimental stuff. But this is definitely their coldest sounding album, I would say, fitting to that cover. The poll's still swinging a little bit. We only have 9 votes in though, so get your votes in. Are we going with Satyricon or Blut aus Nord for their coldest, iciest, chilling album? Appropriate too, where the wind is like beating down my door right now. And yeah, it's a little crazy. Oh boy, we might have an interruption here too. Sorry if you can hear that. Looks like 60-40 right now. Not everybody's got their votes in. I think some people are abstaining. Hi. Somebody wants to come in. We're gonna have a guest here. Hey, Aria. We'll see what we can accomplish in spite of this. Oh wow, the poll's still swinging. It's only 55-45, so I'll give it another minute here. Yeah? Mm-hmm, Santa dog. This is my guest host, apparently, unannounced. Oh man, this is tight. 54 Satyricon, 46%. 50-50 now, getting exciting here. What are we going to do? Where is it going to go? I can't close the poll now because we need an answer. I need a few more votes in. Yes. Yes. You want oatmeal? You gotta ask abuela. I'll get it in a minute, okay? My youngest, everyone. Okay, I'm gonna end it here. It's 53%. It's been leaning towards Satyricon. We got to that 50-50, but I'm gonna end it there. 53% say Satyricon. Really? Yeah, yeah, she did sound like a cat a little bit, didn't she? Okay, so we're going with Satyricon, Dark Medieval Times. Winner. Next up, we have The Mantle from Agalloch and Borknagar with True North. Both of which bands that I could have chosen any number of albums from, but I stuck to just one per band. So let me get the poll up again here. To be totally honest, I am not the biggest Agalloch listener. Just never really gotten into it, but been enjoying all the Borknagar albums. But they're both really just impressive bands in their own right, and kind of cool to see them going head to head. Not even sure if I spelled that right, but let's go. So we got Borknagar versus Agalloch. Someone says who? The Mantle was all right on the first listen. Yeah, it's a... Oh, and fun fact, too, I should state. So I am in the, greater Portland area, but if you go into downtown Portland, there is a statue of, I think it's an elk, but that is this album cover. They just took a picture of that statue. Another fun fact, too, it was temporarily removed during all the, protests and rioting so that it wouldn't get damaged. And I believe it is now back in place, though. So just a little trivia for you there. So I have seen this bad boy in person. Someone asked, what's your opinion on Flesh Meadow? I'm not familiar with Flesh Meadow, so I will have to check them out. Let's check the poll. We got another 50-50 right now. Not a ton of votes in, though. So let's get some tiebreakers in there. Which is colder? Which is icier? I mean, it's hard for me to compete. I mean, as somebody who lives in the area and sees this gray sky, I can relate to, yeah, that looks pretty cold. But true north, I mean, we got this whole like mountain, like kind of glacial looking thing. It's like, what gets colder than that? So I don't know. What do y'all think? Who's going to be the winner here? It's still 50-50 with 16 votes. Wow. We need a tiebreaker. Somebody throw in. Don't think people know these bands. Yeah, they might not be as familiar with these. We'll get back into some that people will be familiar with. Feel free to just go on your YouTube and pull up a song from each of these and just get a basic sense of the sound, because we're not rating which is better, we're rating which is colder. So you can just judge which one sounds colder, even just on a little sampling. I think we're going to end it, though. Borknagar just barely edging it out. 53%. The winner of this particular bracket. Borknagar moves on. All right, so we're going to continue on this side now. We have now Darkthrone versus Vindier. So getting a little spicier here. I have a feeling I know which way this is going to go, but I could be surprised again. So let me throw the pull up. We got Under a Funeral Moon from Darkthrone. And we have Vindier, 1184. As far as which one's colder, I like 1184 better, but I do think that Darkthrone may be colder sounding. But I'll leave it up to y'all. I'll leave it to the audience. There's always the people who watch later too who are like, how could this get ranked higher? Audience poll, y'all. It's not just me. I'm not making the final say unless we need like an ultimate tiebreaker on something. This one's kind of close. Vindier was in the lead, but Darkthrone going up now. Not surprised. Definitely the better known of the two bands. But I think I kind of agree. I think they're taking this one. If anyone else wants to get some votes in, fair enough. Oh, tightening the race a little bit. 59-41 now in favor of Darkthrone. They were at like 75 a second ago. Any last minute votes? Otherwise, I'm going to call it for Darkthrone. I think we have a winner here. Oh. Okay, yeah, it's swinging back towards Darkthrone. 61% say Darkthrone. I'm going to end the poll. Darkthrone moves on. I'm really surprised that Enslaved got kicked out in the first rung. Like, that one to me, I mean, it's called Frost. Like, that one should have made it to the end if you ask me, but it's not my vote. All right, and then bringing it down now to Dark Medieval Times from Satyricon versus Borknagar, True North. So poll going back up. Borknagar and Satyricon. Based on these albums. Where is it going to go, huh? Cold and frostbitten. Yes. Rip Velfar. Yeah. Literally, I mean, yeah, come on. Like, that is an argument in favor of Vindier as a band, that the man behind writing all the music basically literally died in a snowstorm. Like, it doesn't get more frostbitten and grim than that. So, Rip, indeed. I will say again, I like Vindier more than Darkthrone overall personally, but that album is a bit colder. All right, Satyricon's taking the win for this one, though, with 71% of the vote. Dark Medieval Times moves on to they're gonna be up there, it looks like. And then the last on this side, we got to do Darkthrone versus Satyricon. So will Darkthrone get dethroned, or will Satyricon get pushed out finally? I'm kind of surprised to see this one move on so far, but they're both great picks, and they're both very icy indeed. Putting up the poll, and we're going to finish out this side of the bracket. Haven't listened to every Dark Throne album because there's so many. Yeah, seriously, like doing that tier list. You can check out the tier list I did with Chris on the channel. That was a fun video. It does not include the latest one, though, because we did it last year, and they just pump out albums. And it's hard to keep up with them, and I didn't feel like doing it over again because there's just so much. But lots of fun tier lists coming very soon. But like I said, I'll be trying to do some more of these short live streams in the meantime until things pick up again in February. There will be an obituary tier list, though. That is already done because I've heard the new one. All right, looks like Dark Throne is taking it all on this side at 67% and climbing. Dark Throne goes to the final round here, but now we have a whole other side to deal with at this point. So next up, oh, is it not going to do it? Oh, is it not going to give the cool visualizer all of a sudden? What if I like click over here? Oh no, don't do that. Oh, it doesn't want to do the cool like matchup visual. All right, well, what we've got here is Marduk with Those of the Unlight and Dissection with Storm of the Light's Bane. Two kind of classics here. Again, I wish it would show the like actual matchup visual, but it's not working out. So Marduk versus Dissection. What's it going to be? Both of them with sufficiently icy covers, I would say. It's pretty similar covers too, where you've got these very death-like, wraith-like figures on horseback in the snow. So I figured, why not? Why shouldn't these two go toe-to-toe? Again, remember, not which is better, which is icier, which is colder. DMT sound is so icy, yeah. Opeth wins. I don't need to see more. Opeth is not black metal. No. No, no, no. I wouldn't even say Opeth is particularly icy, personally. But what do we got here? Okay. Not surprising to see Marduk kind of get the shit end of the stick here. Dissection taking it at 80% at this point. I'm going to go ahead and end that one. That's up. That's over. Storm of the Light's Bane moves on. Next up, we have... Well, let me do it now. Nope. All right, we've got Emperor within the Nightside Eclipse. And we have Nocturnal Mortem with Lunar Poetry. I know which way this is going to go. But would highly recommend Lunar Poetry as well. I've got the cover of the new version, the kind of like updated, re-recorded version that they recently did, which is excellent, but the original is good too. But I know what's going to happen here. I mean, you go up against Emperor, it's going to be a tough one. I would kind of argue that Nocturnal Mortem, that album's a little icier, a little colder, in my opinion. This is grim. Hey, audience vote. Can't blame me. I like to absolve as much responsibility as possible. Yeah, Orchid is black metal adjacent-ish, but still not really black metal. Emperor and Nocturnal are both icy, but I have to go... Oh, some people going with Nocturnal. Yeah, 100%. No, it's not 100%, though. We got 30% of the vote for Nocturnal Mortem right now, but it seems pretty clear Emperor is going to take it. Again, unsurprising. They're the favorite here. 74-26. Yeah, I think we're going to call it with well over half the vote in, unless like 10 people vote right now for Nocturnal Mortem. It's going to Emperor. So 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 with 24 votes, 75%. Going to Emperor. Not surprising at all. Rip to Lunar Poetry, because that is a great album. But it is what it is. The audience has spoken. Let's go to some other big ones here. Somebody mentioned Mayhem. So we've got the classic Mayhem album versus a classic Immortal album, At the Heart of Winter, no less, which was one that was much discussed when I was asking for suggestions here. Throw it to the poll. So again, we've got Mayhem versus Immortal. For those particular albums, again, not which is better, which is colder, which is icier. To be fair, there is on the Mayhem album, there's like Freezing Moon. So there's definitely bits and pieces in each. If I'm picking again which one I enjoy better, it's easily At the Heart of Winter. I've named Ad Majorum in my like most overrated albums list because I do think it kind of is. I think it's an important album, and its stature is clear, but still got to go with Immortal, and it looks like that's the way the vote is going. If Mayhem wins, I'm going to riot. Yeah, it seems the voters feel the same way. With 26 votes in already, that was a fast vote. 81% for Mayhem. There still are an available, let's see, 9 to 11 votes on the table. I don't know if that's enough to swing it. I don't think that's going to happen, though. So I'll give it like 5 more seconds. You might argue that Ad Majorum is a little warmer album since church burning is a theme of that one. All right, I think it's going with Immortal. It went down a little bit, 75%. It's dipping a little bit. But yeah, there's not enough votes to swing it, so I'm going to end it 75%. Going with Immortal, At the Heart of Winter. And then we have Ulver versus Burzum. So I thought this would be an interesting matchup. So we've got Ulver, which that particular album, this is like one of the rawest black metal albums of all time, in my opinion. But if we're going to go raw against raw, then of course we had to go against the classic Burzum album as well. Going to throw that to the poll. I hope y'all have listened to this Ulver album too, because I absolutely adore it. It's like one of the rawest albums, but somehow still so enjoyable. Natten's Madrigal, maybe my favorite Ulver album. And then, of course, we've got Burzum, and I hesitate to even try to pronounce the title, but it's like Visisit ta os. I looked up the pronunciation at one point to try to get it. I try, y'all. I try, but this is what it is. Let's see what the chat's saying while we're doing the vote. Ulver album, very badass, but Burzum is icy here. Where's the missing 1%? The warmth of a burning church is Christmassy, but not cold. Ulver, great. Burzum, mid. I agree. Controversial take. I think Burzum is super mid, personally. Two bands be good, really suck now. I mean, I'd argue Ulver is leaps and bounds more interesting than what Burzum is now, but yeah. So what do we got here? Oh, it's close. It's close. 56% for Ulver, 44% for Burzum. We got a bunch more viewers popping in here, so any last-minute voters, again, not which is better, which is colder. Which is the colder album? Is it this album from Burzum or this album from Ulver? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? Looks like Ulver is taking it at 59%. Pretty close. 59-41. Ulver taking it. I really wasn't sure which way that one was going to go, so kind of an exciting one. Which is going to bring us down to kind of some final fights here coming to an end. So we've got now Storm of the Light's Bane against In the Nightside Eclipse from Emperor. That is a tough one. I know which one I would vote for. I'm not going to poison the well here by saying it just yet, but let's go. So Emperor versus what were we doing again? Emperor versus Dissection. That's what it was. Emperor versus Dissection. Poll is up. This should be an exciting one too. Someone said tried, but the black metal to me is like black licorice. Not a fan, but not a hater. sometimes it just clicks over. It took me a long time to kind of get into classic black metal too. And there's just so much variety now too. So don't write it off. I'll say keep trying. See, Emperor, Dissection, Emperor will win. Emperor, I know it. Let's go. Freezy face emoji. Philosophem is great, and that is pretty much it. I do like Philosophem. That is my personal favorite of the Burzum albums. Excuse me. Poll is pretty close-ish. Emperor seems to be taking it here, though. With 33 votes, we're at 67% in favor of Emperor in the Nightside Eclipse. A couple more votes coming in. Got like six more available votes, but 4 more. Anyone else? Bueller? Otherwise, I am calling it Emperor with 64% of the vote. Gonna crown them right now. Emperor it is. And now we have Immortal versus Ulver. At the Heart of Winter versus Natten's Madrigal. So let me get that going. Ulver versus Immortal. Now, I'll be curious how this one goes, too. Because, again, I know how I figured this whole thing would go. But that all, to be quite honest, I really thought Frost was going to make it to the final 2, at least. And it got bumped out immediately. Which still is just shocking to me. If I could recount any of these. Maybe I'll do it before we do the final vote. I'll do like a recount just now that we have more people in here. Just to see if the vote swings differently. See, Immortal, easy. In this case, I hate Ulver. In the Nightside Eclipse is like a storm in the middle of a snow. I would agree with that. Dissection was my black metal gateway. It's a good one because it's got that melodic angle. I feel like it is a good like entry level album for this classic stuff. Immortal definitely running away with this one. 72% of the vote. 28% to Ulver. All right, 73% of the vote. There are not enough to turn it over though, so I'm calling it Immortal is the winner of this one. All right, and then, whoa, what happened here? There we go. That was weird. It was like glitched out. All right, so now we're going Emperor versus Immortal. This is a very tough one. Again, not which is better, which is colder, which is icier, which is more representative of winter, would you say? So, again, we're going Immortal versus Emperor. 2 absolute classic landmark albums, must listens. Cannot say that you've truly listened to second wave black metal until you've listened to both of these albums, I would say. Someone said in this case I hate Emperor, still Immortal, Abbott, Panda Face. Mare Cognitum was my metal gateway. Mare Cognitum's a good one. One of the hardest votes of my life. Yeah, this is a very tough one, and I can see that represented here. We are 56-44. Right now. We'll see how that resolves itself. Still got a few votes on the table. It could flip, but it's 60-40 right now in favor of Immortal. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? We got 35 votes up now. 36 votes. Still Immortal. Couple more votes on the table last minute. Otherwise, I'm gonna call it. Yeah, some people are getting upset with this one. No. Yeah, I'm not really surprised, though. If it were up to me, I would have also voted for Immortal. I can't even say which of these albums I like better, because they're both so good. But, so I need to fix this again, because it keeps messing up. Immortal carries over. Now, before we do the final fight, I want to do one last recount for the first one, because I'm just so shocked. But just be honest, don't let it sway you. Just a little bonus vote here. We're going back to the very first one, which was Enslaved's Frost versus Darkthrone. So just one more bonus vote. I'm not going to change anything. I'm just curious if things have changed now that we have more people in here. So Enslaved Frost versus Darkthrone under a Funeral Moon. Poll is up. Show me what's happening. I won't remember the first time I played the Under a Funeral Moon album, just shivers. Yeah. In this case, I hate Darkthrone. Immortal. Darkthrone wins. I'm riding. You might have to ride. I don't know. I think I know. I kind of knew from the beginning who I think is going to win overall. Okay, well, still resoundingly Darkthrone. Man, tough crowd. I'm really surprised. I think Enslaved is just so cold sounding. Like every note of that album is just frozen in time. But enough of this dilly-dallying. The final vote. Immortal, At the Heart of Winter versus Darkthrone, Under a Funeral Moon, which is the coldest, darkest, iciest black metal album of all time. Of the classics, of course. I mean, if we got a bunch of underground voters in here, this could go completely differently, but I know my audience. I know what they know and what they don't know. I encourage you to go check out more of these albums too. Like, this is all of this is for fun. Like, ultimately what really matters is I want people to see stuff on here that maybe they haven't seen and check it out, because these are all really great albums for the most part. Poll is up. Darkthrone versus Immortal, the final grudge match to crown our victor here. What is it gonna be? And it's a tight vote already. Oh, it's swinging in a direction I didn't. Oh, this is spicy. This is not going the way I thought it was gonna go. It really didn't. Y'all surprising me, but it's 52-48. It's very close. There's a few. There's like 50 people in here right now, so there's still a few votes. There's enough to change it. I'm gonna let this one linger a little bit while I kind of like read the chat too. Immortal's gonna win. Immortal 100%. Darkthrone. You put Enslaved on the poll. I know that was the other poll. Funeral Moon. Not Immortal. No. Going with Immortals just because I've listened to more of them. Don't. Come on, Immortal stands. You're joking. Okay. Oh, it swung back the other way. Okay, it's 51% for Immortal now, 49% for Darkthrone. There are still votes though. Again, I'll give you time because there's people out there who have not voted. Pull up a separate window, pull up YouTube, and just play a couple seconds even from each of these albums. So again, it's Under a Funeral Moon and At the Heart of Winter. And you decide which one from that sampling sounds colder to you. Which one gives you the shivers? I'm seeing it swing more towards Immortal. Frankly, I'm surprised that Darkthrone was taking the lead at the beginning. That would have been really interesting to me, but this is fun. This is really fun. Checking the chat here. Yes, lad. Immortal has to win this. I'm sweating. I swear to God. It has winter in the name. Immortal has to win. The album is literally about winter. Yeah. I've never checked these bands out, so it'd be unjust to vote. That's what I'm saying. Just go sample. Just give a little quick sample. Again, it's not about which is better, which I would say you have to listen to the whole album to make that judgment. To say which sounds colder, though, you can just listen to a little bit. Just put Immortal as a neutral voter. Yeah, my vote is for Immortal. All right, we have 41 votes in. There's still a bunch of people in here, though. There's still room for this to change because it's still close. It's 55% Immortal, 45% Darkthrone. And it's our final vote, so I'm fine to just like let everybody dance for a little bit and kind of see what happens. Immortals Under a Funeral Moon sounds like it was recorded in a frozen shack out in the middle of Norwegian wilderness. I agree. But I would also agree that like this Immortal album was like literally built conceptually around the entire concept of winter and being cold in this fictional realm of Blashik. I always forget how to pronounce it. Body count for the win. Need to really digest the band's music to give an opinion. Yeah, but just for funsies though. Darkthrone sounds colder, but Immortal is better. Okay. All right, well, we've got 43 votes in. I don't see any other votes in. Last minute, last call. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and Immortal takes the ultimate victory here, which is what I predicted. I mean, I even made it the background of the entire thing and the cover image of this bracket fight. Immortal Not really surprising. This was also the most voted album in the comments when I put it up on the community tab. But this was fun, y'all. Immortal at the Heart of Winter, the coldest, darkest, iciest black metal album of all time, as per the Metal Trenches audience. Really appreciate y'all. I'll do more of these again. I'll put up a end card for people who are watching this after the fact for more of these live things. I'll do more bracket fights, more tier lists. And thank you all for watching. Really appreciate all the comments here. We had a nice group in here too for like a midday on a what day is it? Tuesday? I don't even know. What year is this? But yeah, that'll do it for now. Flight of Icarus signing off, and I will see you in the